man. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, fam. Let me see. I'm 6 in the morning. Entry is my patience. Breaking up while I wasted. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. I'm gunning, yeah. This is real life, not a phase. We just don't do this for play. Catching these vibes all day. Golly is all in. Damn it, I'm running my race. Let's trade the trade, I paid the wait. Abel real. See, we got Freeze on in the building. Austin, what's the word? Appreciate y'all family for being here. Let's get it. Pick up the moves, pick up the pace. Yeah, yeah. Hobby drives off way. Pull up. Air source funded. I'm gunning, yo. I didn't hit him up. This is real life, not a phase. We just don't do this for play. This is real life, not a phase. We just don't do this for play, yeah. I think it's on it all day. Don't think it's on it all way. Yes, family, what's going on, guys? What is going on, man? Super excited to be here with every single one of you guys today. We are back, man. We are back for another session, family. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Now, so funded. I'm gunning. That is a hit in my. This is real life, not a phase. See, we got Mike in the house. Jose, what's the word? Off the ground in the building as well. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Let's get some bangers. Absolutely, man. Damn it, I'm running my race now. Family, we do have Mr. Powell speaking today at 10 o'clock. So in about an hour and 24 minutes. We do got the big homie himself going to be opening his mouth, which should provide a ton of volatility, depending on what he actually says. So I'm excited to see how that plays out for sure. When I'm pulling on, next me when I'm pulling on. I just wanna slide on you. I want you to ride on me. Nah, this might be my favorite song right here. Straight out the shots. Shots straight out the shots. Shots straight after shots. Shout out to my boy Thotty Boy Cash. What a name though, Thotty Boy. My hands flow, hey. Hey. Turn up. Facts. Uh-huh. See, we got Linda in the house. What's going on, Linda? Good to see you in the chat as well. Let's go, family. Let's go. I might try to get on this track right here. You think I should put a verse on this song, huh? One time, one time. Oh, this song is a banger.
Text me when I pull up. Text me when I pull up. I just wanna slide on you. I want you to ride on me. Shots, straight after shots. Shots, straight after shots. Shots, straight after shots. I wanna see you buy. Shots, straight after shots. Shots, straight after shots. Shots, straight after shots. I wanna see you buy. Yes, I see you working on a dance floor. And that as a fact, I got my hands full. And you must handle, I got the handle just like a candle. And you must handle, I got the handle just like a candle. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Baby, then speed it back up. Baby, come back up. Stick with ass every one time. Baby, do that ass one time. Raise your titties one time. They can't let you in time. One time, one time. One time.
One time. Nah, this song is tough. All right, family, let's see what we got here, man. Again, I am interested in a bunch of setups today. I'm really watching these yen pairs, man. I think these yen pairs are getting ready to really, I mean, they're already starting to move right now.
Text me when I pull up.
Text me when I'm pulling on.
Text me when I pull up.
Y'all might hear this song play a couple times today, family. I mean, we already heard it a couple times, but that's it, man. Shots straight after shots. Shots straight after shots. Hey. Facts. Shots straight after shots. We got a beautiful closure here on the GJ. Yeah, these gem pairs are getting ready to run, in my opinion. Dance flow. They got the handle, ho, looks like the handle, but like the handle, just like the candle.
Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Baby, then speed it back up. Baby, come back up. Stick with ass every one time. Baby, do that ass one time. Raise your titties one time. They can't let you in time. One time, one time. One time, one time.
One time. Shot straight at the shots. Shot straight at the shots. That song is such a banger. Let's see what we got here, family. In terms of gold, y'all, man, how do I feel about gold today? How do I feel about gold oil today? I kind of wanna continue to sell gold. I ain't gonna lie. That's what I'm leaning towards right now. I kind of want to like really sell the hell out of gold. Look for more downside here. I mean, what have we recently been doing, creating these lower highs and lower lows? So I want to see if we can continue to take out this low at this point, come and fill the wick completely. So I personally want to look for more downside here, guys, on gold if possible. Especially looking at these smaller time frames. So if we can push back up into this structure point up here, that could be a play, or we could possibly even come out, take out the low whole range right there. Honestly, this would probably be what I would prefer to look for. Let me erase it all. I would prefer for us to pull back up here, and then we're able to go ahead and sweep this high right here. I think that would be phenomenal, and then give us that move so we can go ahead and tap into this imbalance and then and then start to look for those shorts if we can do that. I don't know if we are going to come and take out these highs. That would be preferred, just to grab that little bit of liquidity up there that's probably been built in with these two tests to the highs. We don't have to go up there, but that's what I would like to see. You know, we could very well just sweep this little internal structure at 2366 and then fall, but we'll watch price action for sure and see what we get here. But I do like the downside overall. Have you heard of the music artist Forex? Yeah, for sure. I've only heard the one song of his that's very popular. Like literally only that one song. But besides that, he's pretty cool. And you guys know why this song went viral? I'm pulling up at 8 a.m. You know why this actually went crazy? Because he got the Drake stimulus package. That Drake stimulus package still hits. I don't care what you guys talk about. Shout out to Drake, the #1 artist in the world still to this day. The GOAT of all GOATs. The greatest rapper of all time in my opinion. But yeah, absolutely, bro. And Austin, bro, what's up, bro? I gotta get you in studio, bro. I gotta get you studio time. We need our anthem here, bro. Like, do I need the big 4L to do it? Or do I need to get you both on the collab, the big 4L, big Michigan shit? Cause I need my tracks, man. We need some Wealthy Visions vibes up in here. We need some trading songs that we can continue to bounce to. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, shout out Aubrey, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see, we got God Effects in the building, Abel Asian session, yo, every time. Yo, hey, yo, God Effects, man. Are you always gonna call me Mr. Asian Session? Huh? Talk to me nice. Are you gonna always call me Mr. Asian Session? I see we got the big homie Mr. Take Profit in the building. What's going on, my brother Renee? Drake got the most hits, but he not the best rapper. Hey, man. Hey, listen, to me, again, everything is opinion based. To me, I mean, he has hit every credential possible. I ain't gonna lie. The best artist, period. The best, period. I'm not gonna lie. Who's your favorite rapper? Who do you think is the best rapper? Who do you think is the best rapper? If we're talking about solely rapping, I still hold Drake as top 3. Who do you think is the best rapper? Let's see, we got Kevin in the house. What's going on, Kevin? I see the King of Asian Sessions. Yeah, for sure. The South got something to say. I believe every coast is gonna have their own artist. To be honest with you. Let's see, rap. Jadakiss? You think Jadakiss is the best rapper ever? I mean, Jadakiss is extremely lyrical. Let's not get it twisted, but I don't think he's the best rapper. Put some respect on you. Mr. Pips said, bro, y'all don't know what rapping is, but okay, so who's your favorite rapper, Mr. Pips? Talk to me. Who is your favorite rapper? Now, again, there is the difference between rapper and artist, so I'm trying to separate the two, right? Because as an artist, Drake is #1. There's no arguing it. As a rapper, I understand why there could be some that are up there with him. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Just saying. Let's see, off the verses. Yeah, Jadakiss went crazy during that verses that he did. He went crazy. Honestly, you know, that whole crew went crazy against... Who'd they go against? Jim Jones and them boys? Forgot who they even went against in the verses. Let's see, I ain't keep my eye on the markets, family. I do want to see more downside for gold. We just got to wait for our setup to actually form. And our setup forming is just getting in between the moving averages for us. And then we can go ahead and look for our opportunity here. So we just got to be a little patient here for gold to see where we what the market decides to give us today. But let me see what we got here, though. That was an Andre 3000 reference. Are you an Andre 3000 fan? Do you believe he's the best rapper, though? Like, that's what we're talking about right now. You said Lil Wayne. Okay, I can't argue Lil Wayne. I always felt Lil Wayne was the greatest alive, dead or alive, to be honest with you. I have Lil Wayne in my top 3 of best rappers, with Drake as well. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Drake and Weezy are both in my top 3 of best rappers. Hell no, I don't want to listen to that. Let's see. Shout out to Wheezy. Eminem isn't too bad. Eminem isn't too bad. So you are right, 100%. Drake is an artist, not a rapper. I've been saying this since '09. I mean, Drake is a rapper. I see. That's what I can't stand, right? People that try to say that Drake is not a rapper when he clearly raps. On 80% of his songs is raps. Like, he's a rapper. He might not be your preferred style of rapper for whatever reason, but he's definitely a rapper. Let's not get it twisted. Because we can go bar for bar. We can go song for song if you really want to. You pick your favorite artist that you feel is a dope rapper, and I'll just stick with Drake, and we can go song for song and see who got the best songs. Rapping wise, I'm just being honest. We can call it. Ain't nobody want to take that bet, though. I promise y'all that. Let's see. I love Drake, but I must admit that K-Dot won the rap battle. He did. I don't think anybody's denying that at all. Right? K-Dot, he definitely won that rap battle. Right? Kendrick has, guess what? This is the thing. Nobody ever disputed Kendrick's ability to rap. Right? Everybody knows that he has one of the craziest pens out there. There's no arguing it, no denying it. Anybody that's clueless, even me being a massive Drake fan, I understand how powerful Kendrick's pen is. So he won the battle, for sure. But Drake is still winning the overall war when it comes down to it. Just as an artist as a whole. With the accolades, the streams, the numbers. I don't care about what anybody says. I look at numbers to dictate what's up. I'm a numbers type of guy. So numbers matter to me. Oh, Abel, why? But numbers don't matter. No, they matter to me. They might not matter to you, but they matter to me. Right? And that plays a big role, man. So although Drake had a nice run right now so far in 2024 because of the one hit song that he has, Drake has had a 15-year plus run so far. Non-stop. So, hey, ain't no competing against Drake, I'm telling you. Drake is on a legendary run that's never been done before. Like, think about any other time in history. Think about any other time in history that there has been an artist that has literally been number one for this long, 15 plus years. You ain't gonna find nobody. So, all right. Let me get off Drake's nuts real quick. No homo. Because I'm over here sounding crazy. Let's see, can I boot him? MC Hammer with Mike Jones hooks. Hey, man. I'm a fan of lyricists. I am too. I'm a fan of the art as a whole. I love lyrics. But lyrics isn't like the only thing that I focus on. Like, I want to see everything. I want to see you as an artist. Sound like DJ Academics? Yo, listen, this is the thing, bro. Like, Academics be talking, even though Academics is definitely, he's like a higher level up of fanhood than I am with Drake. Like, that, like Academics would probably legit get on his knees if Drake was in the same room as him. I ain't that far. I'm still a man at the end of the day. But I also gotta call shit. I gotta call a spade a spade. You feel me? I gotta call a spade a spade. We got Devin in the house. What's the word, Devin? He said Chris Brown and MJ. Chris Brown is up there. I'm not even gonna lie. Chris Brown is one of my favorite artists as well. Chris Brown probably has the biggest freaking catalog out of any artist in history. Like, do you guys know how many songs Chris Brown actually has? Like, when you guys ever, if you guys ever listen to a Chris Brown album, you're gonna be there for days. Just because when he drops an album, he doesn't just drop a 5-10 track, right, album. Chris Brown is dropping 30 songs every single time he drops an album. Every single time, and they're all hits. I've never heard one bad Chris Brown song. Have you ever heard of a Chris Brown song that's bad? I have never heard of a bad Chris Brown song in my life. And I've listened to hundreds of his music. And he has, this is according to him, based on a podcast that I watched. He said he has 2,000-3,000 songs, unreleased songs, just in his vault on a hard drive. That's a lot of songs, bro. That's a lot of songs. Making 2,000-3,000 songs that you still haven't even dropped yet, and you probably never will. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Man. All right, let's see what else we got here though, family. Cause let me see what we got here. Don't sleep on Big Sean. Big Sean's lyricism is up there too, man. It really is. He really is slept on. Sound like Act is crazy, absolutely. In a versus, Usher versus Chris, who wins the verses? I'm taking Chris Brown. Usher or Chris Brown, who wins the verses? I'm taking Chris Brown. I'm taking Chris Brown, and I don't think it's even gonna be close. Usher got bangers. Usher got bangers. Usher, Usher definitely set the tone. But come on now. Chris Brown is him, bro. Chris Brown is just what I don't know. So we got Daquan in the house. What's the word, Daquan? Chris Brown doesn't get the accolades because of the Rihanna situation? Absolutely. Chris Brown's like the first person to come back from being canceled. Stay woke. Have you heard Chris Brown's Diss to Quavo? Yeah, that shit was tough. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Chris Brown is actually not just an R&B artist, right? That's obviously what most of his songs are, but this dude could rap, bro. Chris Brown could rap. He could sing. He could dance. He's multi-talented. Good luck trying to compete against him. See, Chris Brown beats Usher faster than Diddy beat me. Yeah. You guys are crazy. My brother got a song off Chris Brown sample. You gotta fuck with it when you get a chance. Listen, send me the music, feel me. I don't mind playing you guys' music. In fact, I would prefer to play y'all music over a famous song because I know I won't get copyrighted more times than not. If it is copyrighted, by the way, Austin, that one song that you played, right, that was you and your mans, I actually did get copyrighted for that song too. So I don't mind playing the song as long as it's not copyrighted, so that I don't get, the video less. That gets blacklisted when you essentially get copyrighted, which kind of sucks. But I did get copyrighted on that video. So as long as it's not copyrighted, man, I don't mind playing anything, to be honest with y'all. You just got to be okay with what the chat says. That's all. Let's see, academics prioritize numbers over everything and is ruining hip hop. We never used to base rap songs off the numbers. It's always about the music. Again, I'm a numbers guy, so I'm with academics. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a numbers guy. I'm a vibes type of guy. Like, I judge music based on my interests. I honestly don't listen to Kendrick like that. Like, at all. And I'm pretty positive. Can we be honest with ourselves? I'm pretty positive if you guys go through your playlist right now, especially I'm talking to all you Kendrick make-believe fans, y'all probably got one Kendrick song on there. Maybe two. But yeah, and again, there's some of you there's some hardcore Kendrick fans out there. I get it. But I know for a fact, majority of people, they ain't even listening to Kendrick on a daily basis. But they'll definitely listen to some Drake. I'm just saying. Let's see, these R&B guys rap better than rappers? No, they really do. Let's see, I mean, Drake has surpassed. What? I'm telling you. Hey, listen, Erica, this is my opinion. Don't hate me for it. It's just my opinion. That's all. All right, let's see what we got here, family. We are starting to see this pullback on gold. Again, I personally would like to see continuations here to the downside, but we got to take what the market gives us. Obviously, we are reacting currently right now to this reaction off the bottom of this channel that we've just been essentially in and stuck in right now. So we're bouncing off it, which is not a bad thing for us. Again, now we have our setup essentially forming to then go ahead and get involved. So we'll see how this plays out. Let's see. I don't understand how you would get copyright on my song. I think the song was under your friend's. I think your friend or whoever the other artist on the song is the one who. It wasn't intentional. Like, you gotta think about it, right? Like, these copyrights just happen automatically at this point. So wherever you uploaded your song, if he uploaded it through like TuneCore or something, you have the option of copywriting it. And I think that's what they probably did. All right, they uploaded it through one of these independent platforms. Selected the option of copyright, and they are copywriting any song from it. So you might not even know about it, Austin. I don't know. They making money off of your song. How don't you know you got a copyright on your song? Let me see. Can I actually find the email? Let me see if I can find it. I always get a lot of copyrights, to be honest with y'all, so it's gonna be probably hard for me to find this email. Well, let's see, family. We do got Jerome Powell in about an hour. We do have Jerome Powell in about an hour, family, which is going to be absolutely interesting and amazing. Let's see. Big shout out to all you guys that are with me today, by the way. I love you guys, man. Appreciate y'all so much. You guys are absolutely amazing. That's me when I'm pulling up. Yeah, I can't even remember when this shit happened, boy. For me to try to figure out which email I got. Shots, straight after shots. Yeah, I be playing too many songs for me to figure out. Facts. 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 DJ, please don't kill my vibe. Shots, straight after shots. One time, one time. Let me see what we got here. Shots, straight after shots. All right, let's see what we got here. Tom McDonald should be DMCA free. What does DMCA stand for, bro? If you don't mind educating me real quick, because I really don't know what that stands for, Mike. But I do like Tom McDonald, man. He actually made a banger that went real viral, I think a month or two ago, that really put me onto him, because I didn't know about Tom McDonald until that one America song that he did like a month or two ago, maybe 3 months ago, maybe. Oh, that's the copyright claims. Okay. Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Look at that, man. I learn something every single day. I'm over here talking about copyrights and I ain't even know what the actual shit was. So I appreciate y'all for teaching me a lesson. Let's go. That's a W in the chat, man. Listen, the more times I can learn too, family, it's a blessing for me, man. Because now, when somebody types in DMCA, I know how to act. So let's get it. Appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. He styled with Michael Jackson for most number one hits. Salute to Drake. I ain't no hater. There we go, Eric. See, doesn't it feel good, Erica, to just be like real with yourself real quick? Like, I'm not saying you're not real with yourself, but when we're talking about music, like, could we just be real about it? Like, and just give Drake his kudos? Like, what's up with y'all? Let's see. I can't wait until we all meet up so we can talk this ish for real. Hands will be thrown. Nah, it'll be dumb fun, right? Having these discussions in real life. What song is this? Yeah, I played this song about 30 times so far, bro. This is like my favorite song right now. It's called One Time by my boy Thotty Boy Cash. He's a local artist from back where I'm from. Dude is pretty dope. Let's see, how low in your time frame do you go to make a trade, and what time frame do you analyze the market? That's a good question, right? So I typically analyze 1 hour and down, and I take my entries on like the 15-minute, 5-minute, 3-minute, 1 minute. So that's what I personally do. I analyze 1 hour time frame and down because I'm simply looking for scalp / intraday trade, so I don't need to go too high. But then we enter on the 3-minute, 5-minute, or the 15, depending on which one looks the best. But typically, when I'm ready to actually look for my setup, is usually 1 hour down. If I'm just trying to get an overall feel of the overall market, then obviously higher time frame is crucial, right? That top-down analysis flow is definitely very crucial. But I'm a scalper / intraday trader, right? So I don't need to go too high. Let's see what we got here, family. 28 minutes out from the open. Let's get it. Grand Rising, all. What's going on, Margarita? Good to see you in the chat. My brother Drew in the building. Grand Rising to you. Lamar in the house. What's going on, Lamar? Michael G in the building. I see you guys all showing up, man. What's the word? I appreciate y'all for being here once again, family. I just wanna slide on it. I wanna ride on it. Shots. Let's see what we get here on gold. We are starting to sweep this little internal range structure high here. We are about to sweep this internal structure high. We gotta see how the market reacts to here. I got the candles. We did just take out buy side liquidity above this internal range structure high. Let's see how the market reacts here. Again, I was leaning towards bearishness here, just based off what the flow has been for the past day or so. And I kind of want to see us really go lower, man. I really would love for us to take out this wick completely, like get below the 2355s, man. That's really what I would like to see, us take out this low. I think we still got some more room to go to the downside. Feel this imbalance right there in the 4 hour. I think that is what looks the best for me, man. But now we just gotta be patient and wait for this entry. Again, we are getting what we're seeing, guys. Now our setup is starting to form here. All right, we gotta let this candle close in the next minute, and then how we react on this candle. The next candlestick is usually gonna give us what we need if the trade is gonna actually give us a play, right? You know, so we gotta let this 5-minute candle close. Let the next 5-minute candle open up. If the next 5-minute candle does come back within the range and we close back below, you know, the structure point, that's a sign, right? That's a sign that we might start getting ready to go back to the downside, especially since we're getting that reaction after the sweep of this internal range high right here. You know, so I really like this. We just gotta let this stuff close in the next 20 seconds. Let the next 5-minute candle start to play out as well. And on the close of the next 5-minute below the range or below the 50-period moving average, that's a sell all freaking day long. All freaking day long. Text me when I'm pulling on. All freaking day long. So we got to see how this plays out. It could be something like what we seen yesterday. All right, there was something similar yesterday as well that happened. Right here. All right, this was all yesterday's setup. We had the market create this little internal range structure. We ran internal range structure. We had a 5-minute engulfing that ended up starting to form, and then we eventually ended up getting below the range. And look what happened. This thing ends up tanking like no tomorrow. So if we can get something like that to show, that would be spectacular, especially now that we are taking out this high. Let's see what we get. Let's see if we can rebound back below the range. If this just continues to drive higher, then so be it. Right? So be it. It is what it is. You know, because if this does come and take out these highs, then at that point, I'll probably just switch my buys. I'll probably still use the same exact area of interest, though, to look for now continuation to the upside, but we got to see how this continues to play here. Shots, straight out the shots. Let's see, what are your thoughts on trading futures? That's exactly what we're doing right here. I don't know, I like it. Honestly, it's you really don't understand the difference until you traded both Forex and futures. Like, trading Forex is actually pretty annoying now to me. Even though I still do it, you know, when I want to trade these currency pairs, especially like, you know, my yen pairs, which is like the only thing that I will be trading now on the future side or on the Forex side. If I'm trading Forex, family, I'm being honest with y'all, it's only to trade GJ, maybe UJ. Right? Everything outside of my yen pairs, I'm trading on my futures accounts. All right, if I want to trade gold, I'm coming over here and I'm going to GC1 to trade futures. Right? Trade future gold. NASDAQ, the S&P, US 30, I'm all trading those on the futures side. And the reason for it is because it's just a lot better, man. The spread is crazy when you're trading Forex compared to having essentially no spread here when you're trading futures. And also a big thing that I've realized again, because I placed a bunch of trades recently on my Forex account, is how much the fees are, bro. The fees are crazy. Like, if you act like, the fees are actually crazy on the Forex side. Like, you're paying a lot of freaking fees to enter those trades, bro. And I didn't realize how bad the fees were until, again, you compare it to the futures side, right? So futures, low to zero spread, wherever you want to enter is exactly where you're going to enter at, right at that price point. Not a pip, 2 pips, not 3 pip difference like what you get in the Forex side. you're getting in exactly where you want to, which allows you to be a little bit more aggressive if you know what you're doing. And the fees are a lot lower, a lot cheaper, a lot more affordable. Absolutely. So that's what I like. Once you go futures, you can't go back. I'm telling you, bro. It's tough. It's tough, bro. Again, I've been dealing, I've been in these GJ longs, and just these fees that I'm getting hit with are just crazy. We mix Forex Able? Nah, trust me. Y'all need to get used to futures Able. It'll save you on time, fees, and it's all regulated too. US regulations, no matter what. Come on now. Don't forget to like and sub. Absolutely. Appreciate that, Drew. Let's see. Is it possible to it plays off the institutional candle instead of that imbalance? What are we talking about? I think you're talking about gold, right? Let me see. Let me bring up my gold again. You said the institutional candle. I think you're talking about gold. Let me see. Oh, actually, let me see what gold is doing right now. We might be getting our entry. Look at this thing. This thing bounced off the top of the range here. What are we about to do, gold? We are seeing a little increase in volume right here too as well. We did get a 3-minute closure back below the range on higher volume. This looks crazy good. Sheesh. See, we got the spike up, the move back below the range. Yeah, I might take this short right quick. I might take this short real quick on gold. Don't leave without me, gold. Because it did exactly what I wanted to see here. This thing is already moving though. Don't leave without me, gold. Damn, this thing is leaving. I'm gonna have to go to the micros to get in now. Yeah, I think this gold does have a good chance. I'm gonna have to wait for it to come back up to the range. I don't want to take it that low. But this gold does looks pretty solid, fam. I think there is a good chance that we do come back at least to the bottom of this range again, but we got to see here. Again, I would like for this thing to just really roll over and take out 2350s. We did just get a nice opportunity here on the 3-minute. We got to see if this can continue to hold now or if it can give us another entry, but I really like this setup. Took out liquidity, internal range liquidity. Engulfed back below the range, supported by higher selling volume. Yeah, I would take this short all day long, and then just deal with the loss if it happens. I mean, for those of you guys that were a part of the boot camp, like this is literally what I look for when I'm talking about our trigger line, or not our trigger arm, but our liquidity sweep. Type 2 play, right? The type 2 setup. Like this is literally what we like to look for here. So we gotta see what we get here. That's me when I'm pulling on. Yeah. Yeah, stop's gotta be above the high, above the range up here. Shots straight after shots. Shots straight after shots. I want to be your body. I wanna be you. Let's see what we about to do here. I got the handle, just like the candle, yeah. Facts. Back up. One time. Yeah, I think that gold still drops. What's GJ doing? Okay, GJ still pushing up here. Straight after shots. Shots, right after shots. What we about to do here, gold? Yeah, gold about to fall. Let me see. I mean, family, what are you guys talking about, family? Where we at? Where we at, man? What you guys in right now? We're still about 26 minutes out from the open. Or not 26, but we're about 16, 17 minutes out from the open here. We do got Jerome Powell at 10 o'clock as well. So I would hope to go ahead and make this thing move real quick. Or at least catch a play before Jerome Powell opens his mouth, but we'll see. Need bigger capital to start futures though, right? Not necessarily, nah. Alright, not necessarily. You can trade futures with 50 bucks, 100 bucks. It's pretty similar to what you can do here on the Forex side. You just got to play the micro or the minis, right? The actual mini tickers, the mini contracts, all that stuff, right? Like if you look at my chart over here, or at least on my watch list, right? I have GC1, then I have MGC1. Right, GC1, this is the regular size. You're going to trade regular size contracts. You need good size capital to be able to trade, you know, these regular ones, right? But then we have MGC, which is micro GC, which is you're trading micro lots here on gold. So you don't need that much capital, right? So as long as you're trading the micros, the ones that say M in front of the actual ticker, you should be good to go. You should be really good to go. All right, Gold. What you trying to do here, Gold? What are you attempting to do here, buddy? Let's see what Gold does here. I be spinning racks when I'm walking outside the stove. Then I kick it out the door. And she be calling on my phone. Alright, what we're about to do here, Gold, is either you're going to push up high and take out these highs now, or you're going to actually turn around at these levels. What are you about to do here? I don't like that 5-minute flip that we just had on gold, though. I'm not going to lie. Right, we had the 5-minute flip back to the upside here. That's really not what we wanted to see. That is not what you want to see, but it happened. We got to see how this market reacts. There is a chance that we do come in at least try to retest these highs. Or we just have so much selling pressure that we do go ahead and start to fall. That's obviously best case scenario for anybody that's in the trade, but I don't like how that 5-minute closed. So we gotta see how this plays out here. I do like the 15-minute though. If this 15-minute can now flip back bearish and close as a bearish engulfing, oh yeah, this thing is definitely running towards 23.55. If we could truly flip bearish on the 15 and close bearish, but this just opened up, so we gotta let these next 15 minutes play out. But that's best case scenario. If we can go ahead and flip back bearish, now that'd be phenomenal.
Might just touch me like 2 beans. I'm about to be a goner. Baby, I'm sorry if I'm not me. So it's something that I can't be. Shorty so bad, she's like candy. Nasty got me hypnotized. Make it happen when we like guys. Maybe she's a devil in disguise. Hop on it, let's go on the ride. Yeah. Go on the ride. She got on top and yeah, she gonna ride. Yeah. She gonna ride. Captain. Baby, yeah, you in my captain.
All right, let's see what we got here, family. I don't know. I might test a sell stop. Because I think if we do come back below this range here, we should continue to drive lower. I mean, there is a chance we just bounce off the moving average, but Let's see what you trying to do here. Are you actually gonna push up higher, or are you chilling? Let's see what we get here, family. 15 minutes, MA will tell. Yep. A little less than 2% away from getting my futures payout. Let's go. Come on now. Let's go now. I love that, bro. I can't find this song anywhere. If you're talking about the same song I've been bumping, it's called One Time. You're gonna have to type in Thotty Boy Cash. What a name, bro. I gotta tell him to like change that name. Thotty Boy Cash is crazy. Thotty Boy Cash. Like what? But let's see what we got here. I'm new to the chat. This is my second time on. You may already answer this question. Are you funded, and if so, who, and do you copy your trades to multiple platforms? Those are great questions, Jeffrey. So I'm trading currently a challenge account. So this specific account we're trading live together for the purpose of documenting everything is not live just yet. We have only taken 2 trades so far on this account since we actually started to document it. 1 winner, 1 loser. Currently floating around 430 bucks or so. But we are tracking every single trade that we do take on this account. So this specifically is a prop firm account. It's not fully funded just yet. We still got to pass phase 1, but we're going to document the whole process. Now on the other side, I do trade also multiple accounts. All right, I do have a Forex account that I'm still trading on, and I also have a personal futures account that I also have. So I'm trading a couple different accounts, you know, as we're trading here together. But the one that you guys will see on the screen is going to be the 50K prop firm account. But again, welcome to the family, Jeffrey. Definitely, hopefully, you know, we can continue to see you here in the chat, man. What do you think Powell's going to say? You think we're going to keep moving towards rate cuts? I mean, that's always the goal, right? Is to get closer and closer to rate cuts. And I think we are getting, you know, close to getting there. I think September we could probably experience our first rate cut, in my opinion. But I think today is more so going to be not what Jerome says, because Jerome is literally going to be pressed. Like we're talking about, if you guys have never seen somebody get pressed before, you guys are going to watch Jerome Powell get absolutely pressed by members of Congress or whoever he's testifying in front of, right? And that's going to be an interesting sight. You know, one thing that Jerome Powell has done really well so far is he's done a really good job at navigating the questions that are asked, because these questions, and you guys are going to see, you know, at 10 o'clock when we go live, that these questions are kind of aggressive, right? Like these politicians, man, they don't play games, or like they go straight to the throat. They go straight for the head. With Mr. Powell, right? So you're gonna see interesting conversations. But yeah, I don't know exactly what the questions are, but Jerome Powell literally just has to sit there and answer questions. So it's gonna be a little different than just him hosting a press conference. Answer me this for me, bro. Why is it easier and I get closer to the payouts on the future side than the Forex side? Give me some thoughts. That's a good question. It could be just because you only have to pass 1 phase, right? On most Forex, most future prop firms. 95% of futures prop firms is only 1 phase to get funded, as opposed to the Forex side where you still have to pass 2 phases unless you actually pay for those 1-step challenges. I think that could be it, right? Just that it's only 1 phase. I think another reason too is that the futures prop firms, they also have different risk management tools integrated into theirs as well, right? Like you can't just lose your account in 1 day. Like we're a Forex prop firm, you could blow your account literally this 10 minutes from when you actually get it, right? If you know, violate the minimum drawdown rule, daily drawdown rule. Whereas for the futures side, for most futures prop firm, if you violate their daily drawdown rule, they just stop you from trading for the day, right? You don't lose your account, you just get cut off from trading. So you can still go crazy on tilt, lose the max for the day that you're willing to or you're allowed to, and you can still come back tomorrow and try to make it back. Right, so there are differences in that nature. Futures prop firms are a little tougher to pass though, to be honest, but that's why it's also cheaper. 1 phase, and there's those things you gotta deal with. So, but I don't know. There could be a few different reasons, man. Let's see what we got here. I mean, I'm biased for gold, might get clapped. Nah, it looks like we might. I mean, anybody that sold might get clapped the way it's looking now, unless this thing just magically turns back around below the range. I don't like whenever we're above the range like this, it just tells me there's a good chance we're gonna go higher, right? But when we're below the range, see, then it's like, all right, cool, there's a good chance we go lower, right? So us above the range, there's a good chance that we do actually go ahead and continue higher, right? I'm still not in any position. What you guys see right now is just a sell stop order that I'm currently placed. I don't even know if I'm gonna leave it there. So I'm not in anything just yet. But if we do flip back bearish and get below the range, yeah, my trade is going to trigger, and then hopefully this thing could just run for me. So I currently have a sell stop on gold at the 2368 level based on futures pricing. So we'll see how that happens. We'll see how this goes. Let's see what else we got here, though. Closed out on gold for 550. That's a W for the chat. Let's get it. I see we got Lokesh in the building. What's going on, Lokesh? Christian in the house. Paradise Capital. I've been seeing Paradise Capital a lot more, man. I've been seeing that prop firm a lot more. I've been seeing a lot of people more talk about it, which is interesting. I don't know, man. Christian, how do you feel about it, Christian? You got some accounts with Paradise Capital? You got some accounts with them or nah? Hold on, fam. Bathroom break real quick. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, this is gold, fam. As long as we stay above these levels, man, I mean, it's probably a good chance that it does just continue to go higher here. But we're gonna see how it continues to play out. Let's see, GJ, man. I still like these buys on GJ. I still like more upside on GJ as well. I'm watching all that. What's Indices doing? NASDAQ, I mean, we're just kind of stuck in this range right here. We have the highs and lows clearly marked off here. Again, I really am only a fan of buying indices, so maybe if we can take out the, what is this, Asian session lows, right? If we can take out Asian and London session lows, honestly, we kind of did just take out these lows. If we can actually get a nice print though below that level and fresh liquidity, that would be beautiful. I would love for us to do something like this, right? Sweep these lows and then start to run to the upside. I think that would be beautiful. And that's for the NASDAQ that we're looking here on the 15-minute, fam. I would love to see that. I don't know if we're going to get it, though. This market could very well just also start to push like this. It could very well start to just run. We did take out internal range structure as well, so gold did push up a little bit higher too. Look at gold. So gold is still pushing up. Again, I wanted to see us flip back below the range in order for my sell stop to trigger here, but let's see where gold wants to go now. Again, I was leaning towards sells here. I'm still leaning towards sells. Still leaning towards possible sells here. Just want to see how we continue to play off at these levels up here. That 5-minute signal, 3-minute signal that showed definitely didn't play out how I wanted it to. Alright, we weren't able to actually get below the moving averages is what killed us. What you about to do now, Gold? You about to push right back down? Talk to me nice. What you about to do here? Yeah, this gold look like it might start dropping now. Hello, 1-minute close back below the range. Wasn't supported by volume, but
Baby, you get so excited when you get no service already.
Let's see what you about to do, Gold. Are you about to flip back bearish here, Gold? Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice, Gold. You about to flip back bearish now or nah? Come on now. Talk to me nice. Yeah, gold still looks pretty solid, and I ain't gonna lie. I just need this thing to flip back bearish here. NASDAQ, nasty Nas, you're chilling. The S&P as well. I mean, the NASDAQ and the S&P are both just kind of stuck in this range right here that was created for Asian session. Again, if you guys were a part of the boot camp, you know, on one of our processes, right? I told you guys to mark off Asian session highs and lows. All right, we have Asian session highs and Asian session lows. And then what did I say? Either during London session, we're going to get a run of the highs or a run of the lows first. Or we get a run of the lows and then we sweep the highs. Either way, I think liquidity is going to eventually get grabbed on both sides of this range here. So yeah, I want to see us run Asian lows. And then we can go ahead and start to trend to the upside. That would be amazing. So that's what I would really like to see here for the S&P and for the NASDAQ. Both give that similar play. That'll be fantastic if you ask me. All right, let's see. Go, what you doing? Yeah, I mean, gold is just chilling right now. I need gold to flip down here, though, for me to get in this position. If I don't get it, then I'm chilling. Let's see what we got here. I'm on a live account right now. Yep, one phase, you guys. And that's one phase. That's dope. Let's see. Not gonna lie, sniped some shit during London and took a 30-minute nap. I'm about to drink some beet juice so I can stay up. Yo, beet juice is disgusting. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Also, that trending journal is elite. Thanks. Also, that boot camp is fire. Definitely game changer. Appreciate that, Brody. Let's see. Gold hovering around London opens. It is. Literally, it is. London opens, yeah, literally right where around London open was. London open was literally right here. Yeah. I do still like the shells for here. I do still like the shorts here for gold. I still got my sell stop open, by the way, too. In case we do start to fall, I'll get triggered right in. If you guys know, if you guys see, my stop loss is specifically below this choppy range right here, like this midpoint. Because I think if we are able to get back down there, I think we should run. There's no reason why we shouldn't. So that's why my sell stop is where it's at. Just letting price get to it, man. We gotta be patient. Yeah. Let's see, what you about to do, Gold? Are you gonna flip first or nah? Gonna flip first or nah, Gold? What you trying to do, buddy? NASDAQ is pushing now, bro. S&P is sad. S&P can still drop. US 30 took out. US 30 just took out the lows right quick. Took out the lows from yesterday. Previous day lows were just taken out by US 30. Now we're starting to see this thing rebound immediately back above the range. We do got the open as well. I was wondering, like, why all this volume come out of nowhere? But I forgot we just got the open too, family. So now we got to really see how this stuff plays out. Gold should also start to really increase in volume. Let's see if this is gonna flip back down and give us a chance to get in here or not. Because right now this didn't look like it might want to continue to drive higher, but we being patient. I still like the sells. We just gotta be patient and see if the market can get to us. My entry is my patience. Let's see, gold. What we trying to do here, gold? Come on. I need this 15-minute flip back bearish. Close as an engulfing. That'll be nice. Come on, flip back bearish for us. Flip back bearish for us. Come on. I'm gunning. Let's see. Do you still have to re-record day 2? Yeah, I do. You know what's crazy, bro? I recorded day 2 yesterday. But I swear, day 2 is like the one that they don't want you guys to get because they know it's going to turn you guys into real crazy savages on these charts. Because I recorded it, or I technically did record it, but tell me how my microphone was off. Talk about pain. So I did a 2-hour session with you guys, and the file gets corrupted. Then I re-recorded again, which only this time because I didn't have you guys, only took about an hour and 45 minutes. But my microphone was off. Talk about pain, bro. Talk about freaking pain. So yeah, that is the one I still have to now re-record for the 3rd time and get it to you. Sheesh. Let's see, mad annoying how choppy it's been. Yeah, man. That's what these markets are, bro. Again, especially with CPI being on Friday. Like, I mean, on Thursday, we have to understand really the news that we have coming up. Like, we have a ton of news this week, family. Right? So because it is a heavy news week, and with Jerome Powell literally talking in 30 minutes, these markets are probably going to be super choppy. Like, who's actually going to, besides us retail traders, right? Besides retail traders that are degenerates, do you think big institutions are really trying to, like, get positions before Jerome Powell speaks? I don't think so. I think they might find some positions after he speaks. But right before Jerome Powell's about to open their mouth, I don't know. I wouldn't expect to get too much volume just yet. Let's see. See the Nasdaq. This thing is just a beast. So the Nasdaq did take out the highs here. We did take out London session highs. S&P as well just took out London session highs. We gotta see how this continues to form now. Is this just gonna start to trend and leave these lows behind? It's possible. I would prefer we didn't just leave the lows behind, and I prefer we actually come and take out these lows. But hey, what I prefer is not what the market cares about. I'm actually going to set an alert on gold. In case I'm not watching it, I can get alerted. Yeah, gold is still pushing up higher here. Again, I'm still not in a position, family. I had set a pending order, a sell stop, in case we flip back bearish. But now at this point, this thing is probably just going to take out this high, sweep this high, and then on the sweep of that high, we can see how the market reacts here. Let's see. I'm still going to keep my sell stop where it's at. I'm not opposed to it, you know. I probably will just put it moving up to be under this 15-minute current 15-minute candle. I'll just move it up towards under there, because once we do flip back bearish, if we do, I'm telling y'all, this is going to run. This thing is going to run like no tomato. So I just want to be patient, man. I just want to be patient, let this sell stop play out. But I think at this point, I don't see why we wouldn't take out these highs to grab some of this buy side liquidity up here, and then give that flip if we are going to give it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised or opposed to that whatsoever. Let's see, gold. What you about to do here now, gold? What you about to do here now, gold? I see you're at another level of structure right now, another little level of resistance. What are you thinking up here, buddy? What are you thinking up here, buddy? Got my body on me. Let's see what we got here. Gold sells hit my TP overnight. I too am looking for continuation for the sales. Let's go. That's another W for the chat. NQ was the play. Yeah, the Nasdaq definitely did give a nice little spike so far. It gave a nice little spiky spike. I think if we are able to flip back bearish here, even on this 5-minute candle, man, if this 5-minute flips back bearish, bro, I think there's a good chance we do run. I'm telling you, I think there's a good chance. Body on me. Yeah, do we want to play? Is it a buy or a sell? That's a good question. All right, let's see what we get here, family. Let's see. Let's see. This is what I got for gold. US 30 falling. Is US 30 falling? Let's go back to the indices real quick. Yeah, the Nasdaq, man. Initial spike up to take out the highs. We took out London session highs. Now we're probably gonna come and take out London session lows as well. Stay woke. Right, we swept the highs, came back within the range. Why wouldn't we take out these lows? Like, why wouldn't we? Same thing for the S&P as well. Right, we barely tapped above the highs here, but we still left these equal lows behind. I mean, it makes kind of sense to go and target those. Yeah, US 30 is already falling. US 30 is tanking. We are coming into this liquidity pocket down here, though. So we can see how we react down in the liquidity pocket, but gold is falling nicely as of right now. Coach, I'm red. Yeah, we gotta see how this forms down here. Rise. Come on. Give us a nice strong 5-minute bearish engulfing right here. That would be spectacular. Come on. Flip back bearish for us. That's what we need out of you. Why are you red? We need you to flip back bearish tremendously. Come on. Again, I still have my sell stop place here, family. I still have my sell stop now directly below previous 5-minute candle low. We got to see how this decides to form and play out. But as of right now, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, this market looks like it's about to continue higher here. This is crazy. Gold is just on a moonshot. What do I do? Only time will tell. We gotta let this continue to play out. Again, I'm not rushing it. And even if I wanted to look for buys now, we still have to wait for price to pull back either way. So I can't even take anything just yet. I can't take a mother junkin' thing just yet, family. We still gotta be patient and wait here. Again, I'm not opposed to taking buys if that's really what the market wants to do. I'm not opposed to that at all, right? But I need to see the play. I ain't see the play yet. So I need to see the play if I am looking for buys. And the reason why I still like the sells though is because I'm looking at, you know, this from a little bit of a higher time frame, right? I'm looking from the 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute time frame, right? I still see, you know, what, in my opinion, structure is showing here, right? I just think there's no, I don't think there's any reason why we don't take out these lows over here at 23.55 first before we go back to the upside. It's gonna be red too, red too. Dripping off the Dromo, dude, FOMO, dude. All right, what we about to do here, Gold? What are we about to do here? We just come, just take out internal range structure highs, and now flip back bearish and start to go? Again, I still have my sell stop open, family. It looks like we might actually get this thing triggered here. Let's see. Coach, I'm red. My stop is going to be directly above these highs, too. Nah, I got to be outside the range. Coach, I'm red. Why you red? Let's see, family. How we feeling, man? How we feeling? Let's see. I was looking at the MACD and it's bullish on the 15. Yeah, it's possible, for sure. Ride that out. Let's see. Let's go, Omar. My birthday's on Friday, July 12th. I'm thinking I should gift myself your boot camp. I'm thinking you should do the same. Well, I got a package of recordings and stuff, but that would be a phenomenal gift. Well, listen, Erica, happy early birthday. Don't act like I wasn't the first one to wish you happy birthday this year, Erica. Just so you know, I was the first one to wish you happy birthday this year, even though we're 4 days early, 3 days early. Let's get it. Let's see what we got here. What up, Abel? Thank you for being here, bro. Still trying to master this skill. My brother George, man. Good to see you in the chat, my brother. Looking at the 39,530 level. 4 buys on US 35. Yeah, essentially right where we're at now. Like, we did just sweep the rest of this liquidity pocket, or we're actually in the liquidity pocket here. This is an interesting level, man. Very interesting area to definitely look for some possible buys in. What I would wait for is now just, again, a 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute live OB down at these levels. I would like that. All right, we can get something like that. That would be nice to form. Give us a nice little 1 minute, 3 minute OB. 5 minute OB is going to put us all the way back outside the range, but we can still take it if anything. Gotta grab it, gotta grab it. Facts, 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 facts. I'ma play it. I'ma slay it, I'ma slay it. Okay, we got a nice strong closure here on the 3 minute. We got a nice little closure here on the 3 minute. I'm gonna take out this sell stop. I don't like the sell stop now where it's at. We went a little further than what I wanted to. We went a little further than what I wanted to. Max. Is it? What are we about to do, Gold? I see we're just coming back up to test the 3 minute engulfing here. Do I want to be a degenerate? Take the sell and just play this short high right here? Super tight stop. We could just play the sell stop again. Like if this does start to break, if we break this 1 minute low, this could probably give a play here. 100 racks, 100 racks. Yeah, because I think if we do take out this 1 minute low, we're gonna drop. Yeah, I'm still not ready for the buys just yet, but we gotta see, man. They ain't sleeping no more. Morning, my brother. Nas did close within the range. Shout out to my brother Matt. Let's get it. All right, let's see what we get here. If we do continue to drop here, I'm comfortable with taking the sell stop if we can get this thing to happen. We just gotta see if it's gonna fall or not. Let's see the Nasdaq. Yeah, the Nasdaq did come back within the range after the sweep of the high. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's no reason why we don't come sweep these lows now for the Nasdaq. Like, why not? Like, come sweep these lows, and then off of the sweep of the lows, maybe down here at these lower levels, we could look for that live OB play. US 30 is already in a position to possibly give us a live OB. It being in this liquidity pocket right here, we just took out internal range structure, fell into this pocket of liquidity. And I think there is a chance or opportunity now for this to possibly create this low as well. So US 30 is definitely very interesting to me right now. Let's see. I'm just chilling. 15 makes it clear though. Yeah. This high volume push to the highs with no real follow through. All right, look at this candlestick that left the wick behind. All this buy volume. It was the open, so it always happens like that where there's a lot of volume. But we had all this volume. We had a push above the highs and immediately rejected back within the range. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think there's no reason why we don't take out these lows here for the Nasdaq. Same thing for the S&P as well. Like, why wouldn't we come and take these lows now? If this US 30 can close, I mean, we got 30 seconds left. I was going to say, if this can close as a bullish engulfing on the 5-minute, I would definitely be taking that. We got to see what happens here. All right, gold, where we at? Gold flipped it back up. I swear, gold is not trying to fall just yet. And that's fine. Again, I'm not in anything, right? And this is why I kind of like now switching to these sell stop type of plays, because like now we're just waiting. Now we just wait. We set our order. We set the pending, the sell stop, and now we just got to let price see if it want to reach or not. If it falls, though, I know there's a good chance that we're going to really see a lot of movement, so I'm comfortable where we're at. It's just price is a different animal right now. Let's see. Thank you, Abel. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see what we get here. Still watching this gold, family. Still hawking this thing, man. That was a... Let's see. We're about 10 minutes out from the 10 o'clock as well. You guys know this 10 o'clock volume is different. It's phenomenal. We'll see what the 10 o'clock volume gives us. Elo, make it drip. Let's see what we got here. See, when you go to the higher time frame on US 30 though, this looks like it want to go lower. Right, like on the smaller time frame, the liquidity pocket looks pretty solid, which is where we're in. But these higher time frames, I don't like these wicks, boy. These wicks tell me we could actually just go ahead and probably run that whole thing. Come down to this lower level down here possibly. But we got to see what price action does though and how it reacts. But higher time frame definitely tells me possible lower pricing, but smaller lower time frame, I can see why this probably does hold, but we shall see. Okay, Nasdaq is starting to push back down here. Gold is still just playing the highs. Gold is still just chilling right now. Again, even if I was looking for the buy, I still wouldn't have no signal for me to get in. So I'm not even stressed if this continues to run. If I was to get in the buy, it would have to be damn near back down to here. 2368 for the buy. That's where I would be looking for entry. But I'm liking the sells, so I'm looking for the sells. I'm just waiting for this thing to turn around and trigger us in. Like, come on now, buddy. Hit our sell stop. If you want to keep driving, pushing up, that's fine. But just hit my sell stop. The great thing is, that same level that I said I'm comfortable with buying, 2360s, 2368s, if we are able to get an entry here for the sell, by the time we come down to here, that's going to be our 20 points that we typically target. So we'll be able to take partials as well in case the market did go bullish and then just react to price action again. Let's see, 23.38 is what I'm looking at for sells. 23.80. So that's just above. Yeah, you want to go all the way to the higher end of the range. And that's what it looks like as of now. I mean, it looks like price, just the way we're acting. I mean, it looks like we're at least going to come and take out these highs, these relative highs. Yeah, this thing is still pushing up. So I'm going to cancel my sell stop. And we're going to have to just be patient again. See what happens on the sweep of the highs. All right, we could sweep these highs, come back within the range, and then possibly get that play. But we're going to be patient with this. No rush. No rush whatsoever. The NASDAQ is also just chilling now. US 30 is still creating another low. US 30 is still pushing lower here. We got to see what this ends up doing, US 30, and how we react. If we are going to react in this pocket of liquidity, or if we're going to go a lot lower. Again, higher time frame kind of tells me that we're probably going to run this low right here, but we'll see. Oh, hey, she got it. CCLS. What's my yen pairs doing? GJ is still holding pretty good. I still like more upside there. UJ's actually pushing back some. What are you about to do, UJ? Talk to me nice, UJ. What you about to do, buddy? Dollar's dropping or something? Yeah, the dollar is reacting off of these highs too. The dollar reacting off of these highs, man. If we do close like this as a one, if we close like this, family, the dollar's definitely gonna drop. Very high probability we do actually see another lower leg here, which in return tells me that gold could possibly continue back to the upside. So I might have to switch my initial thoughts on that. But foreign currencies could also experience more upside as well here if the dollar does actually drop. That also gives us a reason to want to buy US 30 and just the rest of the indices as well. So we'll see. If the dollar does close the way it is in the next 6 minutes, man, I think we can see a lot more upside for indices. Shit, she bought it. All right, let's see what we got here. 1 minute sweep of the lows. Push back above the range. Sheer work of just busting the charts. Sheer work of Let's see what you about to do here. Let's see, we are 5 minutes out from the open, family. Or not the open, but 5 minutes out from the 10-minute candle. That 10-minute candle, man, it does produce some volume, so I like it. Oh, good. Oh, bank roll. Hey. I low-key want to take a buy in this area, US 30. Family, we do got Mr. Powell too. I keep on forgetting. We do got Jerome Powell in literally 4 minutes as well. Literally 4 minutes. Mr. Powell is going to open his mouth. Yeesh. Do we even want to get into a trade right before he opens his mouth? Oh no. I don't know, family. That might be a tough one, but we do got Mr. Powell in a few. Let me actually go ahead and bring up a live stream real quick. Let's see, where is me, Kevin? That's what I want to listen to.
See what's going on in the sticks. Okay, good. So you got a little bit of a discount on an opportunity to buy in.
All right, we're gonna be able to see this. Wolf of McQueen, right? Yeah, US 30 still making lows, still trying to push lower here. NASDAQ pushed back up. The S&P also pushed back up. The S&P just took out the top of the range nicely now. Again, I want these to continue to the upside. The NASDAQ and the S&P, we're going to have to look for more of a trigger line entry play. Where US 30, we can really take advantage of the liquidity sweep play. If you guys are familiar with how I like my entries, man, we got both possible setups here forming. Whether you're looking at the NASDAQ at this point, look for that pullback continuation off the moving averages. US 30. Let's see if we can get a live Obita form down here, supported by volume. Get that flip, that would be nice. All I wanna. Come on, Mr. Powell. What you about to talk about today, man? Just treat us nice. That's all I ask. Just treat us nice and give us an opportunity. Let's see. Me too. I want to buy it right here as well, but since I already made 0.5%, I think I'm good for today. I mean, it makes no sense to try to get in like right now, like right before Jerome Powell opens his mouth. Really makes no sense. Still have a week left before I get my payout, so definitely don't need to rush, bro, at all. You hear that new Rod Wave album? I have not. I can't listen to Rod Wave and trade. I don't know about y'all, but I can't Rod Wave and trade, bro. It's like Drake and... No, I could listen to Drake and trade. I'm not even gonna lie. But like Rod Wave and trading is different. I can't do that. He's too sad for me. Y'all know me. I need my up-tempo music that gets me going, gets me in the vibe. Rod Wave is not gonna get me in no trading vibe. It's gonna make me want to start an argument just to get in my feelings. I'm good on Rod Wave. So I haven't heard the album though, no. I went mad dramatic just to give you the answer, but no, I haven't heard it. Let's see, Dirty 30, yeah, so I'm still watching her. I want to see what she does at these lows, man. Abel, if you're only going for 20, 30 points, how will news help? It seems like news helps with those bigger plays of 100 plus points. News just helps me with direction. Right, that's me. That's I don't care about the reaction for pip wise or point percentage wise. I just like it because it gives me direction based off sentiment. Right, it's more of a long-term play here that we look for when it comes to identifying news. It's like, all right, what did the news come out as? And what's the possible sentiment based off this news? And then from there, I like to look for my trades and my positions off of that. Right, so I don't use news just specifically to target a ton of pips. Like, no, I need that for direction long term, and that's what I use it for. All right, let's see what we get here, family. Let's see. It is 10 o'clock. Let me make sure that we are aware of when this guy's about to start speaking. Let me see what we get here, because I'm going to get going. I'm going to keep rising. Okay, he's testifying before the Senate. Before the Senate committee. I'm going to keep rising. Yeah, I'm going to listen to Meet Kevin's. We're going to watch Meet Kevin's.
Inflation. The committee, however, still seeking greater confidence inflation is declining before reducing rates. He quotes that part of the statement which says that. Then he uses the phrase, more good data, he says, would strengthen our confidence that inflation is heading towards it. And he's really referring back to the most recent inflation reports we've had.
So we'll see
Elevated
how this goes.
inflation, he says, is not the only risk we face. So he's talking much more two-sidedly about the risk. And he yet goes on to cite the risk.
Yeah, let me quickly just read that off. Elevated inflation is not the only risk we face. In other words, and then he says, more good data would strengthen our confidence on inflation. Continue to make decisions meeting by meeting. Inflation remains above 2% goal. Risks to achieving employment inflation goals are becoming into better balance. Reducing restraint too soon could reverse inflation progress. Too late could unduly weaken the economy. We'll carefully assess incoming data. This sounds like, frankly, a very canned speech right now. So, as the testimony begins, I think, yeah, we're starting to see some of that sort of the red candle sticking as the testimony begins. Not uncommon. And now it's just a matter of waiting for good old J. Powell to come out.
Yeah, we gotta see how this.
So we are on standby for that.
Okay, we're on standby for that. All right, so in the meantime, let me just do another quick little run through. Again, I am still interested in US 30 in these areas, man, but it's tough for me to just jump in now right before Mr. Powell. I mean, unless you're a super degenerate, it's possible to do so, but for me, I'd rather just chill. Looking at gold literally just whiplashed like crazy. I mean, this 5-minute time frame is nuts, right? We had a massive spike to the upside, spike to the downside, and now we're just stuck in the middle, essentially, doing absolutely nothing. So we got to see how this continues to form. Again, I still am liking the possible shorts here for gold. I don't know why. I still like it. The thing that might hurt us could possibly be the dollar itself. If the dollar does gain a lot of strength here, then it's probably going to weaken everything, which will benefit actually gold. But if the dollar does continue to drop, which I think there's a possibility of that, then that's going to make everything absolutely fly. I don't know if we're going to get that because the dollar right now is starting to gain some strength right before Mr. Powell opens his mouth. Let me make sure. Okay, still nothing. So we gotta see, man. We gotta see what this does. Again, it makes no sense to try to jump into trades right now, family. Right? If you're entering positions right now, by all means, it's your it's your choice, right? But I probably wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. Let's see. I remember last time Rod Wave, we all took we all took L's. Facts. Yo, that's a fact. That's what I'm saying. We can't Rod Wave and drive. It don't make sense. I was too emotional to put on a trade. I remember got me wanting to apologize to my computer. Yo, you guys are hilarious, bro. Let's see. Smashing a shot to you, Metal. Appreciate you, man. Let's see. Gold sells. Omar, you think we're ready for? Oh my God, gold is just tanking too. Like now she wants to move. Look at this, right? She wanted to take off this high, and now she's starting to shift lower here. Now we're starting to see gold do what it wanted to do. Right? It didn't care about the internal structure levels right here. Even though this is still an internal high, kind of wanted to take that whole high out before we started to shift. Gold is going nuts. We gotta see if this holds though. Right? We gotta see if this continues to hold or not. All right, let's see what we got here.
Instead, we have a economy where the largest corporations use their power to funnel all the gains in the economy and try to hide it anymore. The biggest corporations are charging more for less.
Yeah, gold is going nuts
Americans
now.
are frustrated. No, actually, Americans are pissed off. They have fewer and fewer choices. Those choices cost more and more. Keeping prices down is part of the Fed's mandate, but as many of us have made clear, the Fed's main tool to combat inflation.
Don't think keeping prices down is part of the mandate.
GJ is going crazy.
Stable prices is part of the mandate.
Corporate greed. Keeping rates too high for too long threatens workers' paychecks while keeping other costs high, particularly housing costs. Housing prices and rents continue to go up. It's no surprise that since the Fed began raising rates, the amount of income families need to qualify for a mortgage has nearly doubled. Homeownership has long been a bedrock of our middle class, but today fewer and fewer middle class families can afford to buy a home.
Let me get rid of that crosshair, please.
Our country's housing supply shortage, worse, not better. We need more housing construction of all types. Higher rates lead to the opposite, and particularly make it harder for multifamily construction to work financially. Higher interest rates make borrowing more expensive for working families, whether it's for a mortgage or a car or anything else. Most people don't have the luxury of paying for everything in cash. And for the millions of Americans feeling their budgets stretched by higher prices, taking on credit card debt to pay for groceries and other essentials has become an option of last resort. But as more people struggle to pay down their debts, credit card interest rates are reaching all-time highs. Last month, Director Chopra testified in front of this committee and explicitly stated that credit card issuers are charging higher rates far beyond what they need to cover their costs. Corporate greed rearing its head again. Banks are making record profits at the expense of Americans every month that the Fed keeps rates high, Mr. Chair. It costs Americans money by making it more expensive to buy a house and to borrow money. Higher borrowing costs stifle future economic growth, leading to fewer homes being built, leading to businesses making fewer investments in the economy, and eventually.
Okay, we're getting the red candles. So if you want to get ready to swing trade, right, you're getting the red candles. This is all because of Fed uncertainty. Jay Powell hasn't started moving his mouth yet. This is a good opportunity. Just pay attention to it.
Just pay attention to it.
And we'll continue to do that. For instance, we fought to cap insulin prices for senior citizens. We'll continue to fight to extend this price cap on life-saving drugs for all Americans. And why my colleagues and I on this committee are working, it's why we're working to lower housing costs for more Americans. The Fed also continues its work to keep the banking system stable and ensure consumers' money is safe. Last year, the Fed and other bank regulators issued a proposal to update bank capital requirements, strong capital standards, and you've heard in this committee overwhelming support for strong capital standards. They're critical for the economy. It's our way of making sure that if Wall Street bets go poorly, which they often do, investors, executives, and shareholders should pay for it, not taxpayers. The biggest banks have spent obscene amounts of money attacking this Fed proposal. But you, the Fed, don't work for big banks. You work for the American people. Your concern should be developing capital rules that protect Americans' money, not protect bank CEOs' stock portfolios. The Fed needs to look past these shameless lobbying efforts and finalize a rule in the best interest of taxpayers. Another dangerous piece of the Wall Street business model that makes our banking system less safe is incentive-based compensation. This compensation model rewards risky behavior that enriches Wall Street executives in the short term, but makes banks more likely to fail. We saw the results of that model in 2008. We saw it again last year with the failure of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature. Other regulators have moved forward with a proposal to rein in these reckless incentives, but the rule, Mr. Chair, can't move forward without your and the Fed's moving on it. This rule is long overdue. The Fed must join this statutorily required effort as soon as possible. The Fed also has the important job of reviewing mergers and acquisitions between and among banks. Over the last several decades, we've seen the largest banks grow into massive, literally trillion-dollar companies, while thousands of small banks in rural communities in Northwest and Southeast Ohio, in small towns in those communities, in those areas, and all across America have disappeared. Consumers have lost trusted local banks. Small businesses have lost longtime reliable banking partners. Regulators like the Fed have the crucial job of guarding against mergers that reduce or eliminate competition and lead to bank closures or layoffs. I recently sent comment letters to the OCC and the FDIC on their current efforts. I expect the Fed to take the proper steps to ensure that its merger review process is robust and that it protects consumers and communities. Finally, Mr. Chair, you must ensure the Fed has high ethical standards. Fed officials should never again be able to profit from their positions by using confidential plans about Fed.
This is so boring so far. No wonder Sarah Eisen isn't covering this at all.
At least in the near term.
Fails to establish the clear penalties needed for Federal Reserve officials who make investments in violation of the public trust. A rule with no consequences is really not much of a rule at all.
Come on,
American
man.
people need to be able to trust.
Hurry up and stop
that
talking.
The Federal Reserve works for them in a time of deep cynicism.
I'm ready to hear Mr. Powell.
People have about the federal government overall. The American people need to know that officials aren't abusing their positions for personal gain. As chair, you have an important role to play to make sure our economy works for everyone, not just for Wall Street. The Fed's regional banks must do their part to hear from people and other stakeholders in their 12 districts to understand their needs. I look forward to hearing today how the Fed will balance its dual mandate,
Finally.
protect Americans' money,
Holy
how it
crap.
will foster an economy that upholds the dignity of work. Senator Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Chair Powell, for being with us this morning. Welcome back. Joe Biden broke this economy.
Oh man, more intro statements. Come on.
That's the bottom line. I want to start with the end in mind.
What a
Joe
start.
Biden broke our economy. It's very difficult.
You could tell he's hella Republican.
Everyday families are struggling to put food
In
on
fact,
the table.
he's actually
Real
a
wage
potential
growth is being
VP
eaten
nominee
away
for
by
Trump.
rising
Stay woke.
prices and runaway
I doubt he
inflation.
gets it, but
Think about the fact that for 52 consecutive weeks,
he is on the
Joe
short list
Biden,
of VP
wages
potential
were
nominees.
eclipsed by inflation for 50.
He said, "My boy Scott head shining."
Paychecks. I remember back in December 2020.
So weird you to telling me I'm not subscribed to her minute. That is weird, Linda. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Today it's still $3.19 per gallon, a 50% increase in just a few years. So it's devastating to the average American family, particularly families like the one I grew up in, a single parent household mired in poverty. When you see your gas prices up 50%, Your food up
The hell is
30%.
that?
Your cost of keeping your house cool or warm up 25%. It's not a challenge. It's not unfortunate. It's an absolute crisis. And too many households in America today are living paycheck to paycheck, and they fear the challenges that are coming our way, the headwinds brought to us by the Biden administration. Those headwinds, of course, are seen through the prism of inflation. Inflation hasn't been this high since the Jimmy Carter years, and that devastation is being felt and measured in households by too much month at the end of the money. And that devastation is real for the vast majority of Americans. And the pointing finger, I tell you what, whether it's the Biden administration throwing the Fed under the bus or any other way they can deflect from the real problem. I've seen it, committee hearing after committee hearing after committee hearing. My friends on the left want to point their fingers at anyone other than the real culprits at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The progressive wish list, spending projects, and out-of-control regulations of this administration continues to eat away at American paychecks. And they continue to blame, whether it's shrinkflation, greedflation, skipflation. They're looking for someone to blame except for Bidenflation. The devastation of Joe Biden's economic policy continues to impact everyday Americans. The American people
Abel was
see
good,
through
dude.
the
Dude came out and said
facades,
Biden
they
broke the
want real
economy.
solutions. It doesn't take a PhD economist to understand what the average American is
got you, Drew.
experiencing under this administration.
What's going on,
When
Anthony?
President Biden
Good to
and
see you
my
in the chat, my
Democratic
brother.
colleagues pump trillions of dollars into our economy, those dollars increase the demand and pushes prices higher. It's that simple. The American people see and feel it every single time. And they see it, as I said earlier, the grocery stores, the gas stations, at the doctor's office. It's just undeniable the impact that this is happening. Just last week, we celebrated the birth of our country.
This is so boring. Please get to Powell. This is trash. These opening statements. I hate Congress.
That's what I
July
said.
4th on
I'm with you.
record, with a cookout this year costing, on average, 30% more than it did just a few years ago. I call that hogwash. What's worse is that this administration doesn't want to learn a lesson in economics. Instead of reducing the push for more spending and more regulation, they only simply double down. Let's take, for example, the tens of billions of dollars of student loan forgiveness. Constant new plans to forgive more money, regardless of the constitutionality of their decisions. So it's important to ask, who are these billions of dollars of forgiveness actually benefiting? Well, the answer is simple. This forgiveness scheme will result in debt relief for 750,000 individuals from households with an average income of $300,000 or more. And just don't forget the fact that the average American family has a household income around $74,000. So what we're doing with this unconstitutional student loan forgiveness is actually asking the median household of $74,000 per household to bear the burden of forgiving debt for students who live in households of over $300,000. And the actual cost of this, somewhere between $870 billion and $1.4 trillion. So why do I have to even ask the question?
I really hope that he's not. There's nobody else that's going after him. Come on, Scott.
Struggling paycheck to paycheck.
Like, hurry up and
with
finish,
a new
bro.
scheme to relieve households over $300,000 of student
Hurry
loan
up
debt.
and get to the
The
Q&A,
answer is
man.
pretty simple. Politics. It's one way to buy vote after vote after vote for November's.
Yep. We all know this already. Now ask the tough question. Yo, J-Pal, when you cutting rates, dog?
Words outlining the Fed's work to cool inflation. I think
what
it's
he
past
said.
time we all recognize what is truly going on. Political pandering from the left. I strongly believe that our economy cannot handle any more of this wasteful spending. And if you disagree, I would love to hear your thoughts on that. But it's not just spending policies that stifle growth, it's also overregulation. And I can't think of a better example of overregulation than parking more capital on the sidelines through Basel III endgame. That proposal itself would cost millions of Americans their chance to own a home, start a small business, and have access to the credit. And
I told you, this is all going to be about Basel III and not about rate cuts, in which case the market's just going to go up.
This hearing
What
today
the hell is Basel III?
On C-SPAN, Basel III capital requirements are like taking your star quarterback, Dak Prescott, and telling him to sit on the sidelines because he just might get injured during the season. It's just plain ridiculous. But these proposed capital requirements would just do that, forcing more money to the sidelines of the greatest economy on the planet and out of the hands of first-time home buyers, business owners.
Say US 30 might be lagging. That's what I'm hoping for, because I'm still waiting to see if we can get an entry signal here. I just need to turn around and give us
Here we go. This is the test, baby.
give us a reason. What's up?
But it bears repeating. We need transparency in your rule-making process.
I don't think he liked Biden. Nah, he hates Biden. No cap.
Of clear justification. Chairman Powell, it is essential that you, your fellow governors, and the other agencies join in this rulemaking, follow the law, do the homework, and then let the public check the work. And that's why I believe that it is absolutely necessary to have a complete re-proposal of Basel III endgame. Give the stakeholders an opportunity to take a look at it and then recalibrate what is necessary going forward. Any increases in capital that are not quantitatively justified harm the American people who need it most. Our farmers, home buyers, small business owners need and deserve access to credit. Therefore, I'll repeat it one more time. You need to restore confidence in this rulemaking process, pull the existing proposal, and have a complete restart. And then, when the data has been analyzed and is available for the public scrutiny, reissue an appropriate proposed rule following the requirements of the APA. I look forward to your opening statement and having a chance to have a conversation.
Thank you. Finally.
Thanks, Senator Scott. Mr. Chair, welcome. Thank you for your service and for your testimony today. Please proceed.
Chairman Brown, Ranking Member Scott, and other members of the committee, I appreciate the opportunity to present the Federal Reserve's semi-annual monetary policy report.
Boring.
The Federal Reserve remains squarely focused on our dual mandate to promote maximum employment.
Listen, now that Jerome's talking, watch the market start to pump. Watch the market start to pump.
Over the past 2 years, the economy has made considerable progress toward the Fed's 2% inflation goal, and labor market conditions have cooled while remaining strong. Reflecting these developments, the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals are coming into better balance. I will review the current economic situation before turning to monetary policy. Recent indicators suggest that the U.S. economy continues to expand at a solid pace. Gross domestic product growth appears to have moderated in the first half of this year, following impressive strength in the second half of last year. Private domestic demand remains robust, however, with slower but still solid increases in consumer spending.
Low-key want to be
We have also seen moderate growth in capital spending and a pickup in residential investment so far this year. Improving supply conditions have supported resilient demand and the strong performance of the U.S. economy over the past year. In the labor market, a broad set of indicators suggests that conditions have returned to about where they stood on the eve of the pandemic, strong but not overheated. The unemployment rate has moved higher, but was still low.
Yeah, look at US
30
30
at a low level of 4.1% in June. Payroll gains averaged 222,000 per month in the first half of the year. Strong job creation over the past couple of years has been accompanied by an increase in the supply of workers, reflecting increases in labor force participation among individuals aged 25 to 54, so-called workers in their prime working years, and a strong pace of immigration. As a result, the jobs-to-workers gap is well down from its peak and now stands just a bit above its 2019 pre-pandemic level. Nominal wage growth has eased over the past year. The strong labor market has helped narrow long-standing disparities in employment and earnings across demographic groups. Inflation has eased notably over the past couple of years, but remains above the Federal Open Market Committee's longer-run goal of 2%. Total personal consumption expenditures prices rose 2.6% over the 12 months ending in May. Core PCE prices, which exclude the volatile food and energy categories, also increased 2.6%. After a lack of progress toward our 2% inflation objective in the early part of this year, the most recent monthly readings have shown modest further progress. Longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. In support of these goals, the committee has maintained the target range for the federal funds rate at 5.25% to 5.5% since last July.
I'm gonna be a degenerate family. I did take a stab here on US 30. I might get stopped out immediately. But I did take a stab here on US 30 buys at these lows. I really like how this 3-minute and 5-minute candle is starting to flip. And on the 3-minute candle closure, I think is really solid. So again, I could get stopped out very aggressively here, and I'm fine with that if I lose quick. But I want to see if Jerome Powell can continue to say stuff that's bringing some strength back here. Because since he started speaking, we have starting to see this market turn back around. So I'm a degenerate today. Throwing you guys out there. I'm not risking much on this. I'm only risking a couple $100. So, but I do think that this could possibly rebound for sure. We'll see. I'm either gonna know if I'm right or wrong really quickly.
However, have shown some modest further progress, and more good data would strengthen our confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%.
Come on.
We continue to make decisions meeting by meeting. We know that reducing policy restraint too soon or too much could stall or even reverse the progress that we've seen on inflation. At the same time, in light of the progress we've made both in lowering inflation and in cooling the labor market over the past 2 years, elevated inflation is not the only risk we face.
5-minute OB supported by
Reducing
volume.
policy restraint too late or too little could
I'm comfortable with
unduly
the outcome of
weaken
this.
economic activity and employment. In considering adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate, the committee will continue its practice of carefully assessing incoming data and their implications for the evolving outlook, the balance of risks, and the appropriate path of monetary policy. Congress has entrusted the Federal Reserve with operational independence that is needed to take a longer-term perspective in the pursuit of our dual mandate of maximum employment and stable prices. We remain committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal and to keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Restoring price stability is essential to achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the long run. Our success in delivering on those goals matters to all Americans. I'll conclude by emphasizing that we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission.
Let's see.
Thank
Freaky,
you.
let's be
Look forward to
degenerates.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I was hoping we had more upside though before they started pressing on. I'm not even gonna lie.
Former President Trump has indicated that he
Y'all let me know how that go. I lock my account to avoid any temptations. Hey, that's a smart play, Drew.
Tariffs of between 10 and 60%, and by doing thus, eliminate the federal income tax. First, on the question of what would be the impact of tariff increases on prices, consumers, and the economy?
Thank you, Senator Reid. So I'm going to say that we go very far out of our way not to comment on campaign-type information. We just don't do that. We also don't comment on trade policy. We have really specific and important jobs, and we try to stick to those.
Well, I'm glad I allowed you to establish that principle up front, Mr. Chairman. But let me opine a bit. 10% increases in tariffs is going to have an effect on prices in the shop aisle. It's going to increase them because they'll be passed on likely. 60% tariff increases are significant. And in fact, I've been told that to replace the income tax, you would have to raise tariffs across the board 70% to make up for the loss of the income tax, which would, I think, create huge economic problems. I respect your impartiality and your neutrality, but the numbers don't seem to add up to anything that would help the country. Let me switch to something else that might be more within your line of response. You said in your opening statement that the labor markets appear to be in a better balance. And that's one of the key factors to judge whether interest rates can be raised. I must say I'm concerned a bit that we're not on a very faster track to decreasing interest rates from the Fed, and because of the better balance you cite. Could you comment on that, Mr. Chairman?
Sure. So the most recent labor market data do send, to your point, a pretty clear signal that labor market conditions have cooled considerably compared to where they were 2 years ago. This is no longer an overheated economy. This is an economy, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, that is more or less back by most measures to where it was before the pandemic. And that was a strong labor market, but it was not an overheated labor market. So I think the upshot of that really is that we're well aware that we now face two-sided risks and have for some time. But now, the labor market appears to be fully back in balance. We know that if we move too quickly, we risk unnecessarily hampering economic activity and possibly interfering with the ongoing expansion. We know that if we move too slowly, that we may undo the good we've done. Well, actually, it's the other way. If we loosen policy too late or too little, we could hurt economic activity. If we loosen policy too much or too soon, then we could undermine the progress on inflation. So we're very much balancing those two risks, and that's really the essence of what we're thinking about these days.
But the direction seems to be going towards lowering interest rates at some point, we would hope. That might be a wish rather than a direction.
But I think if you look at the last summary of economic projections, I guess I would say it this way. It doesn't seem likely that the next policy move would be a rate increase. We don't take things like that off the table, but that does not seem the likely direction. The likely direction does seem to be as we make more progress in inflation and as the labor market remains strong, we begin to loosen policy at the right moment.
Yeah, keep talking like that, Powell. Come on.
Just 2 weeks ago, the Supreme Court handed down 2 decisions that impact every federal regulatory agency, including the Federal Reserve. They overturned the Chevron case, which had eliminated judicial deference to agency decision-making for many, many decades. And they also dramatically extended the statute of limitations under the Administrative Procedure Act. What is your judgment is the cumulative effect of these decisions on the Federal Reserve? More broadly, what does it mean to the economy if virtually any regulatory decision the Fed makes can be second-guessed by a judge? What position are we in now?
So we're as an institution.
I mean, family, technically we're up 20 points here on US 30. From 488 to 510. That's 20 points on US 30, man.
Those are brand new decisions.
Technically,
that just came down.
we at a point where we're supposed to take some partials.
So I don't
according to my rules.
On them, but we will, of course, follow the law.
So I'm just going to follow my rules. I ain't going to close partials, but I ain't going to follow my rules and at least go break even on this trade. It's going to be a quick trade, though. Because, again, I don't think Jerome Powell's bringing enough positivity or optimism for this to just start running yet, but I got to follow my rules. 20 points, I go break even.
I think you have an obligation to make that public.
Hopefully it can hold, though.
Thank you.
I'm going to flip the feed for a moment.
Seeing certainly it's good news. Some reports say it could be
your next question session, basically. Keep in mind, I personally think, and I've been mentioning this, market sells down until you get confidence Jay Powell's not giving us a rug. Good opportunity, in my opinion, to buy if you think you get a bounce when Jay Powell's done.
As well as impeding access to credit for consumers. So even though you yourself have said there will be broad and material changes, I believe this proposal is flawed, both in process and in substance, and should be withdrawn. Do you agree, and will you commit to withdrawing the existing proposal and issuing a new proposal with a robust notice and comment process?
Well, let me update everyone on the status of all that. So over the past several months, we've had, in fact, Vice Chair for Supervision Barr has held a series of discussions with the other bank regulatory agencies around potential changes to the original proposal. I'm pleased to say that we've made quite a bit of progress on those and are very close to agreeing on the substance of those changes. And I can't really be specific because nothing is agreed until everything's agreed, so I won't have a lot of specifics for you today. The question where we're continuing to try to make progress is that of process. So it is my view, it is the strongly held view of members of the board that we do need to put a revised proposal out for comment for some period. And the reason is, when there are broad and material changes, that has been our practice. We don't see a reason to deviate from that practice. It seems to be consistent with past practice and with the Administrative Procedure Act. So that's very much what we think. And we're working through that question with the FDIC and the OCC. We haven't reached agreement on that, but I'm very hopeful that we will. We're prepared to move forward when we do reach agreement on that.
Well, I appreciate most of your response there. I do want to discuss one aspect more of Basel before we move on to another topic. I find it very concerning with how much of this proposal, this process appears to have been done behind closed doors. The Fed, the FDIC, OCC proposed Basel III endgame last July. Then in October, the Fed began the collection of data to conduct a quantitative impact study on the cost of Basel III proposal, a study which I will note should have been conducted before any proposal was ever issued. Move forward to January of this year, Vice Chair Barr committed to a public comment period once results of the study were published.
Come on, US 30.
We're still waiting to view the results.
Come on,
Keep
US
in
30.
mind, all the while, we're hearing rumors that the Fed is working on revising its proposal and moving towards an updated version. Please help me understand, how will the Fed revise or reissue a capital proposal before receiving public comment? That's basically my question.
Well, as you know, we have received extensive public comments, and we've also evaluated the quantitative impact survey that you mentioned.
Yes.
And so the idea would be when we do reach agreement with the other agencies fully, that we would publish the proposed changes and also the quantitative impact survey, and also the effects that the QIS suggests that the changes would have. So we'll put all that out for comment again for a period of time, and then having had yet another round of comment, and we can then move toward finalizing. That's basically the broad strokes of how I would see this moving forward.
And how long do you see that opportunity for public comments?
So it would be meaningful. I mean, it might be 60 days. We don't need to it doesn't need to be a long one. But, before we do that, there's a lot of work that needs to take place, before you actually put out the revised proposal. Quite a bit of work. So it will take some time, and then we would put it out, and then there would be, I'm just taking that number, 60 days of comment, and then we would get the comments back. And
Yo, Drew, you're hilarious.
Another period of
He said, "In Scott we trust."
And only then would you go final. So
that's how we throw a random jab at Joe.
Thank you.
Facts.
Just final point as I'm running out of time here. I think Senator Reid made the comment about the Chevron case and the impact that it could have, certainly in curtailing, from my perspective, the regulatory state. The necessity of a cost-benefit analysis on new regulations that will impact the economy, I think, is quite helpful. In the thousand plus pages of Basel III, I think there were about 20 pages that reflected some kind of cost-benefit analysis approach. I really hope that we see more of that going forward.
Thank you.
Senator Tester from Montana is recognized.
I did close one contract here.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for the courtesy.
I did close a contract.
Powell, good to see you here today.
So I did secure some partials here. So we just let this last contract run, family. But either way, man, it's a W day.
Regardless of where I go.
W day. We're currently flowing almost 40 points right now. 40 points in profit. Took partials at 2030.
It doesn't matter. Larger towns to medium-sized towns to small towns, housing is a huge
Now we let
issue.
this. Now it hopefully continues to go to our actual
And I think
TP.
it's a huge issue all over the country.
But you guys
Correct
know,
me if I'm not correct
20,
on
30
that.
points, we take partials,
And I
man. We
was
took
wondering
partials.
how the
W
housing challenges
day. W's in
fit
the
into
chat.
the overall economic
And now we
picture
let
of
this
the
last
state.
contract run and see if we can actually go ahead and play out
So
where I think it could go. Beautiful.
We do pay a lot of attention, and I would agree with you. We have significant housing issues in the country, and we had them before the pandemic. Certainly
I gotta fill this out when we actually lose.
Has created new distortions, and you know, monetary policy works through interest-sensitive spending. There is no more interest-sensitive spending than, you know, buying a house and having a mortgage. So, for sure, our tighter policy is having an effect on economic activity in the housing sector.
Come on, yesterday. Keep going, though. Keep going.
But I would also say the best thing we can do for housing is to succeed in getting inflation down to 2% on a sustainable basis so that rates can come down, so that the housing market can get back to what was the pre-pandemic normal, which is to say still a housing shortage, but not dealing with the kinds of specific things we're dealing with now.
So let me drill down a little bit. I'm speaking not necessarily from a housing cost interest, and you're correct on the things you just brought up. I'm speaking more from a standpoint of economic growth, in that there are plenty of small businesses, schools, hospitals, Main Street businesses that can't hire people, they can't expand because there simply is no place for them to live. How does that fit into your economic outlook metrics? Because I think it's, from my perspective at least, I think it's limiting the opportunity for expansion. It's limiting the opportunity for entrepreneurs, business startups. And does that fit into the economic picture that you look at?
So our mandate is for stable prices and maximum employment. And again, I think for housing supply, the best thing we can do is get inflation under control so that rates can come back down, so that we can have a more normalized set of rates and a more normalized housing system. But I think policies to increase housing supply are really not so much in the hands of the Fed, they're in the hands of legislatures, you know, state and federal.
Do you believe that if we were to put forth some housing incentives, whatever they may be, that could have if those incentives resulted in more affordable workforce housing on the market, that would have positive impacts on the economy?
You know, these are questions for you, but I would say this, that I'm aware that housing is in short supply, and that for many it's a critical need for the workforce, and so more of it is better. But as to where the fiscal policy,
just a quick update, family. We're still in this US 30. We're gonna let this play out. Obviously, we did close partials here, so we did make some money. And now this last contract, we're going to see if we can go actually for our full TP, which is almost 200 points to the upside. That would be absolutely spectacular. The NASDAQ, though, the NASDAQ did exactly what we had wanted it, family, right? It took out both sides. Remember I told y'all before, you know, as soon as we came live, I said I wanted to see the sweep of the high or the sweep of the low. And we ended up taking both sides of liquidity, right? We grabbed buy side and we grabbed sell side. Now I think there's a good chance that we do start to see this thing just start to trend higher, in my opinion. In my opinion. So that's not a bad looking play if you are still trading NASDAQ. I think we could see more upside.
Extraneous factors, one of which would be politics, and the record is pretty clear that that's a good it's a good institutional arrangement that serves the public well, and you know we just want to stress, as we do periodically, that this is an institutional choice that we make as a country, and that as long as it's seen to serve the public well, it's a good choice. We think so.
Okay, on advanced economies, there's some that talk about the economy of this country not being in very good shape. From your perspective, tell me how the economy of this country is doing compared to other advanced economies that have central banks.
You know, so I'm in lots and lots of international discussions as part of my job, and the story for the last 2 years has been just how exceptional the performance of the U.S. economy has been, and that's not a secret. You know, clearly the U.S. economy has performed very well compared to sort of our advanced economy colleagues.
Is there any country in the world with a central bank, any advanced economy that's performing better?
Better as a central bank?
Any economy that's an advanced economy that has a central bank that performs better than us?
None comes to mind. As I think of the majors, the answer would be no.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Senator Tester. Senator Rounds of South Dakota is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, first of all, thanks for coming in again and visiting with us. I just want to focus on two specific items.
We're looking good, family. US 30 still pushing. Come on, baby.
I think Senator
I see Gold just made a deal on the 5 minute.
I swear, just so you know how this works, these senators are paid by the banks They get fat donations to bring frickin' Basel up. And the lobbyists are sitting there right now. Good puppet. Good. Ask Powell more about Basel III. It's all just rigged.
I'm with you, Kev. I'm with you.
To
I mean, this gold doesn't look bad, bro. It's just the moving averages would have needed to be flipped for it to be like a OG D-low. Like that 13 need to be below the 50. But it's still very possible that this does probably drive lower. We just got to break the support, though, that we're still testing. Which could be proven very tough. Could be tougher than we might seem.
If it's a logical outgrowth. If it's not a logical outgrowth, that would legally require a reproposal. And I don't want to make the legal judgment. I will just say again, from my standpoint, my view and strongly held view of some of my colleagues on the board is that it will be appropriate for us to put out the changes again for a period of comment, just because it's the right thing to do. It's what we would do typically in a situation where there are, material changes to a proposed rule.
do you feel that you have a consensus on the board to allow that to move forward in terms of an additional comment period?
Yes, but
don't worry, it'll break 258.
Currently,
we'll just wait for Powell to be done.
To work on something that would.
We're currently flowing around 65 points in profit, family. 65 points in profit on this US 30 stab.
Sounds like that's the path.
Again, this was a risky play. I'm not even gonna lie. We're playing the fact that, for one, we were oversold. I like the sell-off. I like where we actually fell from. We took some liquidity down here at these lows. And then we started to see price slow down, right? And then obviously, the market was falling. But then once Jerome Powell started talking, that's when we finally started to see a little bit of demand come in. And that's why I was like, you know what? Let's play that. Let's play the fact that Jerome opens his mouth, the market's going to gain
like
strength.
That could be right, yeah. I mean,
so we're going to see.
It's hard to be precise. We would put
we're
it
going to see
out.
how far this can go, though.
Write this stuff
Abel
up.
with the bag for the
Then you put it
game.
out for
Drop a
comment.
like
Then
if
you
you
get
made a
the
bag.
comments. Then you
Definitely
read the
smash the like
comments.
button, family,
Then
if you
you
guys
write the
enjoyed
final
this.
rule.
Definitely smash the like button.
Beginning part of next year is a good guesstimate.
The only reason why I push it is because there are so many folks directly involved with this and the impact on our economy here and with a lot of our financial institutions. This is a significant change, and it's one that a lot of people are following. So I'm trying to get you to get into the depth of this as much as possible, and I thank you for that. I'd also want to go into one other area, and once again, this is something that you and I have had visits about in front of this group before, but I want to talk about what the parts of inflation are, and what parts you can control, and what parts as
Nah, I gotta get that sound effect, that pump it up sound effect.
the
I gotta
demand
get
side
that.
of the equation on
That shit is dumb
inflation
funny.
is the part that you have the tools to work with. But there is the supply side of the equation, which is still out there. And I want to just lay this out because as we do this in this setting, it naturally becomes political in nature because one of the
hell was that?
The starting points that we
Word.
talk about
Sound like somebody at my
is
door.
when this administration took off.
Oh, it was Tesla breaking out.
Side issues at that time.
Come on now, US
And
30,
as
let's
I work
go.
my way through this, I just want to share the concern that I've got. And then I recognize you don't want to be political in it, but I want to lay this out. And then I want to talk about what you can control and what you can't control.
75
with
points in
regard to
profit,
making
75
changes on
points in
inflation
profit. Let's get it.
through the processes that you have. When President Biden took office, gasoline prices, since President Biden took office, gasoline prices have risen over 54%. Energy prices have risen 41%. Fuel oil prices have risen 37%. Now, I can go on, but you understand what I'm saying is that energy has increased substantially. And I think one of the reasons for this has been additional demand as we've come out of a pandemic. But the other part of this has been whether or not investors really want to go back in and invest in traditional energy resources after the president made the specific determination to cancel the Keystone XL pipeline on the day that he stepped into office. When he did that, he sent one heck of a message to investors about traditional energy and investing in traditional energy in the United States, and the fact that a multi-billion-dollar contract or contract could be canceled with the stroke of a pen. Now, my question to you is, what percent, or has there been a discussion about what percent or what amount of the inflation that we've seen, over 20% increase in terms of affordability for a lot of our products, how much of that is attributable to the demand side and how much of it really is attributable to supply side challenges that
Come on,
we've
you
seen
30.
in this country?
Keep pushing, baby. Keep pushing.
That's a question that we've thought about a lot, and any attempt to reduce that to a precise number would be inappropriate because it's so uncertain. But I think we can say, I believe strongly there's a significant demand element and there's a significant supply element. And we've seen the supply side heal so much over the course of the last year or so, and we clearly see that that's contributing to lower inflation. We also see cooling demand, for example, in the labor market. So the two forces are working together. I can't really break it down. It would be such an imprecise estimate.
Just simply an acknowledgement, though, that it is both demand.
It's both. It's definitely
and
both.
it is supply.
It is both. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My time has expired.
Chair Powell, unemployment has risen by 0.5 percentage point over the past year. The number of job openings has dropped almost 50%. The hiring and quit rate.
His voice is killing me.
Pre-pandemic levels. I'm concerned that if the Fed waits too long to lower rates, the Fed could undo the progress we've made on creating good paying jobs. Full employment is part of the mandate, as you say over and over. How are you assessing the risks of higher interest rates in the labor market?
We're looking good, family. We're looking good, man. It's still running.
I agree with your characterization. The latest data do show.
Jerome, you're answering very good right now. Keep it up.
And
Come on.
We're very much aware.
Hey, yo, Kevin, beautiful baby, Kevin, but come on, boy.
As I mentioned earlier, and we're determined to balance those as best we can. We want to see more good inflation data. And we also want to continue to see a strong labor market. And those two things are equal under the law. We have this challenging thing to balance them, but we're very much conscious that that is our job, and we're trying to do that.
Well, and you know that if unemployment trends upward, you must act immediately to protect Americans' jobs. Workers have too much to lose if the Fed overshoots inflation target and causes a completely unnecessary recession. We will say that over and over and over again. I think you understand that. Housing, higher interest rates are making housing more unaffordable. Higher rates are supposed to lower cost, yet housing prices continue to soar. By keeping rates high, the Fed ignores the economic reality of the millions of Americans struggling to make ends meet and get ahead. Let me ask you 3 quick yes or no questions, if you would answer that way. Since late 2022, when the Fed began,
no way it's going to be yes or no.
Volume of housing sales decreased.
I believe it has, yes.
Since late 2022, has the median home price increased?
I believe it has.
Since late
Family, we're at a point now where if you ain't take no partials, man, take some partials, because this level right here could probably bring them some weakness. This is an interesting level of structure that we're stopping at right here. So if you ain't take no partials, man, make sure to pay yourself.
Single-family home has increased by nearly $20,000. People are spending a greater share of their income in mortgage payments. So in some higher rates, it's clear from your answers and data, it's clear higher rates are not bringing down housing costs. The cost of home ownership is only going up. Let me shift to the Synapse bankruptcy. Since mid-May, tens of thousands of people, including many Ohioans, have lost access to their money due to the bankruptcy of this fintech middleman. Reports indicate that as much as $95 million may have gone missing. The Fed oversees one of Synapse's former partner banks, Evolve Bank and Trust. As a regulator, it's your job to make sure that banks protect the people whom they serve. What's the Fed doing to help customers who felt the impact by the Synapse collapse? What are you doing to regain access to their money?
So we do supervise the bank. We don't supervise Synapse, or let alone the fintechs that feed into Synapse. And we're strongly encouraging Evolve to do whatever it can to help make money available to those depositors. We also, as you may know, did an enforcement action against, before this all happened, we did an inspection or looked at Evolve, and we hit them with an enforcement action around these very risk management issues, again, before the current situation developed.
Okay, it's critical that consumers are made whole as soon as possible. We will continue to talk to you about that. We will watch. We will let you know we're watching. The Fed needs to use its supervisory authority to ensure that Evolve is committing the resources necessary to return those funds to the account holders.
That's the Yada Bank situation, right? That's crazy. It came up in the Fed meeting. Evolve and Synapse.
Incentive-based compensation encouraged excessive risk-taking that led to failure. You either watched or had reports of when those bank CEOs testified in front of this committee.
You know what's crazy, family? You guys, I always say all the time, right? My level of curiosity is probably a reason why I've been seeing, some success in various different things. And just for an example, right? He mentioned Synapse. I had no idea what Synapse is, but the moment I heard it, I went and I started to research what Synapse is. Now, there's a bunch of different websites on Synapse, but this one right here is very interesting, right? This synapsefy.com is essentially why we have certain institutions now, or I don't even think they're considered banks, but now there's a reason why we have the rise of these online digital platforms, right? These online digital banks like Novo and all these other ones, right? And it seems like this platform is the reason why these are actually even able to be created, which is pretty interesting, right? Because we could launch our own damn bank. We could launch a bank literally using this platform because this platform provides anything, right? It's like the white label for most of these platforms that offer banking services. This is interesting, right? But that's usually what I do, family, right? Whenever I hear them say something that I don't know or I'm not familiar with, I'm immediately trying to research it, bro, because I got to know what they're talking about.
I want to be mindful of time. Just simply, can I get a commitment from you on releasing the results of the QIS?
Yeah, we plan to release the results of the QIS.
What time
not just
frame?
Well, first we have to get agreement with the other banking agencies, but as soon as possible.
Can you imagine any agencies having a concern with, any other banking agencies having a concern with releasing it? Or is it just a matter of
Not at
pro
all.
forma? Okay.
It's just a matter of the bigger picture of getting agreement on the revisions to Basel III and also how to proceed.
That's great, and I really appreciate the feedback that I've received from you. I should have started by thanking you again for your continued accessibility and discussions outside of the committee. They're very productive, and I appreciate that and your leadership at the Fed. I grew up in the 70s. Got my Social Security number in 1973 when I was 12 years old. That's when I made my first payment. So I've been following the economy even as a youngster. And that was a really lousy time to enter in the workforce. Tell me, and I'm hearing discussions among some of our members now that would almost be reminiscent of discussions with prior Fed members saying, look, we got to lower interest rates and we've got unemployment out of control. So it sounds like we're taking some suggestions from some of my colleagues or plays from a playbook that didn't prove to be very effective back in the 70s. What can we learn? I'm not going to ask you about where you go from here, but if we look back into a postmortem on some of the decisions that were made when we had consistently high uninflation, we had the inflation, I should say, we had consistently high.
It sounded like uninflation.
What lessons can we learn there, or what mistakes should we not necessarily repeat? And I know that this is a fingerprint of a challenge. It's not exactly like the stressors that we had back in the 70s, but what can we learn from the decisions, what I think are arguably the wrong decisions made back then when we were dealing with high unemployment and high inflation? What did we learn?
I think the number one thing we learned was that it's up to the central bank to take it on and stick with it until it's done. And that doesn't sound controversial now, but it actually was back then. And so people didn't really get in there and get it done, and inflation kept coming back. I also think there are significant differences this time to the questions a minute ago. This is a combination of a supply side that we had very significant supply shocks along with big demand shocks from the reopening of the economy and from all the other things that happened. So I think we have to, each one of these things is different in its own way. We try to learn the lessons of history, though.
Do you agree or disagree? Any disconnect between inflation and inflation expectations from the 2% target should be addressed now and not at a later time?
Absolutely.
I like that answer. I want to go to something different. I'm trying to go into a lightning round now and finish on time. We've seen the 2024 stress test results for the U.S. banking system. It looks like to me, by every objective measure, we've got a banking system that's on strong financial footing. Do you agree?
Yes.
One last thing, as the Fed considers making broad and material changes to the Basel III proposal, back on that one,
I'm at least 3 mentions now.
Second order issues important to FBOs.
Here's my bingo for now.
That banks are not unduly in.
Sorry.
Yo, for this US 30 trade family, we really have to be able to reclaim 39,580s. If we can get a close above 39,580s, I will be extremely confident in us actually reaching our targets up at 39,730s. But right now, like I told y'all, this is an area where we are reaching a lot of support, a lot of structure, a lot of resistance. So we could see, I hope it doesn't, because I want this shit to keep running, but we could see a little smaller pullback here. But once we are able to get above this 39,580s, I think we really have a smooth ride, in my opinion, back up towards these highs.
Comment again?
That's the strong view of the Federal Reserve. We're working on that question with the FDIC and the OCC to try to find a path to do that. But
Very good.
From our standpoint, that's essential.
I think it's a strong view from at least several members on this side of the dais here. That would be very, very important because I think it's going to materially change. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Senator Tellis. Senator Warner of Virginia is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Powell, it's good to see you again. Coming this late in the questioning, I'm going to at least hit a couple of the items that my colleagues have otherwise already hit because I make sure it's noted that I raised them as well. First of all, I want to agree with the chairman. I'd probably hear more on housing and housing affordability.
Gold is going nuts too, family. Shout out to you, Tony, man. Let's get it, man, if you took that trade. But gold is going nuts, family. Again, I told you guys at the beginning that I really wanted to look for gold sales to go ahead and take out these lows. I wasn't able to really get what I was looking for because this shit happened so quick when we actually took out these highs. It ended up literally shifting. But this thing is going absolutely nuts right now. Dripping, dripping, dripping. And I think there's no reason why we don't take out the 2355s like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. It's unfortunate we're not in it, but it's cool because, again, we are still in US 30. Right, so we're in a position either way. Thank God it's actually winning for us, so we got to let it play out. 5-minute D-Lo went crazy. That 5-minute Lido did go crazy. I heard you mention a D-Lo on 5-minute for gold. I took that sell. Yeah, that was Drew. Shout out to Drew, man. Again, round of applause for my brother Drew. Again, I don't like to take credit for things I ain't do. Drew's the one who mentioned it. I even told him that I don't know. Moving averages were a little sketchy, but I think it ended up playing out beautifully, man. So good job, y'all. Shout out to y'all that took that.
One of the questions I raised in my March letter to you was,
shout out to you, Kevin F, for being in the chat too, man. Let's go.
How it intersects with existing regulatory structure in terms of market risk, credit risk. And I, again, hope that we will have that.
As long as YM runs, I'm happy. I'm with you, Mike. As long as this can get above 39,580s, man, we'll be in great shape. Great shape. All right, family. I don't know about y'all, man, but I can't continue to watch this. I do got to go ahead and start the rest of my day. So I'm going to send this in the chat, right? If you guys do want to continue to watch this live, I don't know how much longer they're going to be, but, I highly encourage you guys to go ahead and start watching, man. It's right there. Take advantage of it. This is currently where I'm at right now. We're currently flowing around $400 after already closing, one contract for around 200-300. The account, again, we are trading this 50K account, guys. Currently, if I was to close right here, we will be in profit just by a little bit. We'll be very close. Again, be at 5,100 if we close it right here. If we don't, we still got a little ways to go. Again, we only have to make $3,000 on this account to actually get funded. So we'll see how this continues to go. If this can go towards my TP though, oh my God. If this goes to my TP, we're gonna be making around $1,100, right? So that will put us in phenomenal position to go ahead and hurry up and get funded, right? Because again, especially now, guys, like I want to hurry up and rush through these things. I'm not even gonna lie, especially from the futures prop firms account because of how cheap they are. I'm gonna try to hurry up and run through it, right? So I'm also, if you guys notice, like I'm not trading the micro tickers, right? Like I could have traded micro YM, but then I wouldn't be up much at all. So we are going with regular size, the regular tickers, man. So these are a lot heavier. The contracts are a lot heavier. So, the losses are also going to be a lot heavier, but the wins can also be very significant. So this is currently where we're at, currently where the account's at. Once I actually go ahead and close this position, whether it goes towards TP or whatever the case may be, I will update the actual results. That's the only thing that I didn't track just yet here on our trading journal. Documented everything except for obviously what the results are. And then obviously I'll document my emotions and my after trade notes once all this stuff is closed. But this is pretty much where we're at, man. So I'm chilling. I'm gonna let this continue to ride out. I think I'm really at a point where it's either going to stop me out at break even, or it's going to actually break up and start to trend up higher towards RTP. And I'm fine with whatever. We already took partials. We already made money for today. It's a W in the mother junkin chat, right? W stream. So either way, man, we are in phenomenal. phenomenal shape if you ask me, right? So no matter what happens here, I'm completely fine with that. But family, man, listen, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for rocking with me this morning. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. I am live once again with you guys. And hopefully tomorrow, man, we can talk about how phenomenal this YN played out for us, right? That'll be best case scenario. But yeah, family, love you guys, man. Appreciate y'all. It's your boy Abel. I'm about to hop off this. I gotta go get ready for this damn run. But all right, y'all. I'll talk to you guys in the Discord, fam, if you guys are in there. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of y'all day.
All up in the range, new friends, my ends don't meet till I make it market.